Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 82 for December 22nd through 24th, and also December 29th and 30th. Thanks so much for ordering this week, and thanks for letting us be a part of your special holiday celebration at home. We have a terrific holiday-themed meal kit for you tonight. It's a little bit more complicated than normal weeks, or a couple more dishes to do, so apologies in advance. But we figured we would take advantage of people being home for the holidays, do something a little bit extra special. And I hope you love the meal as much as I think you're going to. So let's get ahead and start on the appetizer. We've got a hot appetizer. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of canola oil or grapeseed oil, in my case, per person, and it's going to go in your cast iron pan or a nonstick pan. Then we've got this rye berry stuffing arancinis, and they are going to get fried up 4 minutes on each side. Hey Google, set a timer for 4 minutes. And then I also want to get started on our main course veg. So we've got some lovely roasted heirloom turnips and heirloom carrots, and we're going to throw those in the oven. 400 degrees. Hey Google, set a timer for 13 minutes. There you go. If you don't have one of these things, you should really get one. They're very, very helpful. Okay, so that's popping away. I've also got my Welsh rarebit, which is, I know it sounds like a meat dish, but it is all vegetarian. It is a classic British beer and cheddar stew. It's got some mustard in there and some roux, a little bit of cream, and it's fabulous. So all vegetarian. So the appetizer tonight is all vegetarian. And just want to have it on low, warming up slowly, give it a little stir. And then same thing with our mashed potatoes. I got that warming up in a pot, and we're just going to keep stirring it from time to time. And then the duck gravy as well. I should turn that on. And there we go. I'm going to put that on low and let that bubble away. I'm going to put the hood fan on just a little bit for our arancini. Then I can go ahead and season our duck generously with salt and pepper. Isn't this a crazy time we're in right now? You know, the fact that we're sort of gone into half lockdown again. We're so grateful for your support while we've had to navigate these troubled waters of opening, closing, kind of opening, a little bit opening, a lot opening. And I just appreciate you ordering in advance because we sold out early this week. Okay, we're very close then on our arancini. I'm going to turn them over, even though the timer hasn't gone off yet, and I'm going to turn this down just a touch. The next thing we want to do is we're going to get a pan going on for our cabbage. Savoy cabbage. Again, 1 tablespoon of oil per person over there. Okay, the duck is ready. As soon as this goes in, we're going to sear our duck breast, and then we're going to go to town. But let me have some wine, because we should all have a little more wine these days. The white wine is one of my favorites. Both wines tonight are from Tuscany, because we should be transported to someplace wonderful and exotic. My wife and I and son went to Tuscany a few years ago, and it was just amazing. So this is a Vernaccia, and all organic. Wonderful producer, and let's see what Connor writes up about it. Classically spicy Vernaccia wine spice shows a different side of Tuscany. Floral and citrus aromas are balanced by undertones of stone fruit and lemon fresh herbs. On the palate, sage with hints of anise and almonds and lemon zest, crisp and refreshing. And I think it's terrific. Okay, we're getting very close to needing to put this guy in the oven. I don't think my timer went off on the first guy. Anyway, I know that we're probably close. So I'm going to put this in the oven. Hey Google, cancel the first timer. The, the 4-minute one. Cancel both, please. Okay, now I'm just going to have to use my head. So we got about 10 minutes left, or about 9 minutes left on our veg. So I will know that we're good with that. My wife is laughing at me. This is great. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to get our duck going on. Let's see. Actually, I don't think we put any oil on the duck. Season the duck breast, generally salt and pepper. Begin rendering your duck fat side down in one of the pans preheated to medium. Okay, there we go. So we're going to put that right in there with the fat side down. No oil in there, but I am going to start to saute my cabbage. Savoy cabbage. If you're unfamiliar with Savoy cabbage, it is delicious. Let's make sure that I'm still stirring my other stuff. Welsh rarebit and the mashed potatoes. And so the duck breast on medium heat, I always put it on high heat, and I always overcook it when I do the meal kits. So medium heat, not medium high heat, because we've already done it sous vide. We're basically just rendering the fat and warming it up. And we're going to be resting it. So about 6 minutes, we're going to flip it over, and we are going to sear the other side for 30 seconds, and then we're going to throw it in the oven. Give this little guy a stir. I think I probably need a spatula. It's been a hard day. We've had a lot of things going on at work, and my mind is a little distracted today. But I know that we can get through this and have a lot of fun. Part of it is through the wine pairing. So for the red wine, again, from Tuscany, we've got a beautiful Chianti from Bindi Segrati. And for those Italians out there, I apologize that I'm kind of bastardizing that name. Connor says 100% Sangiovese. It expresses on the nose the intriguing notes of grapefruit and fresh citrus with aromas of red fruit reminiscent of cherries and raspberries, while on the palate it is soft and round, of excellent balance characterized by soft tannins and pleasant lingering finish. There we go. So the Savoy cabbage is getting close. We want to make sure we have our 2 tablespoons of butter or 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter per person. Always use unsalted butter when cooking. And then we are going to, let's see, going back up here, 2 minutes with that. All right, that's going on nicely. Give this guy a little stir, a little rarebit. There we go. We're feeling good. So I want to get our appetizer plate ready to go. So we're going to drizzle the rarebit on the plate, and then the cabbage on top, then place the arancini on top of that, and finish with the cranberry sauce. So as soon as the cabbage gets, the brown butter gets caramelized in here, and of course we want to season the cabbage with salt and pepper, then we're going to be good to plate. Okay, Welsh rarebit. Here we go. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Yes. There we go. Get all that good cheesy deliciousness out there and sort of mix it around the plate so you can see it on the outside as well. Cheese and dark beer and mustard. Who ever thought of this as a wonderful sauce? The Brits. Because what do they have a lot of? Cheese and dark beer and some mustard. Okay, cabbage is looking good. Let's get that off. The duck, let me take a quick look, and it is nice on that side. I'll toss it over. Okay, next up, our lovely brown buttered cabbage. There we go. Definitely going to have to wipe that. Tight up on that one. Okay, I know my arancini is going to be ready to go. Let's take that out. Nice golden brown on both sides. I'm going to turn my duck off. We're going to put that, so we're going to flip it back to the fat side down. We're going to put it in the oven for 4 minutes. Hey Google, set a timer for 4 minutes. And I know that our veg is going to be ready right around that time. So now we've got our, and I can turn this guy off, our rye berry arancini. For those of you who are unfamiliar, arancini is a lovely risotto ball. And in this case, we turn it into a bit of a cake. I'm going to keep tossing stuff around. And then we've got our cranberry relish. What are they calling it? Cranberry relish, absolutely. And that is going to go on top to make a little festive flavoring. Then we're going to clean up our plates a little bit. Here we are. Our lovely rye berry arancini with the cranberry relish, the Welsh rarebit, and the sauteed Savoy cabbage. All right, I know I'm missing something. Oh yeah, dessert. Let's get that going on. I'm also going to borrow one of our pans back because we need to saute our mushrooms for our third veg of the evening. I can use the same one. Let's make sure I'm not burning myself. That's going there. So medium-high heat, 1 tablespoon of oil per person. Cremini mushrooms are going in. And there we go. And I want to get something to rest the duck. Now this is not only good for tonight, but this is for always. Anytime, whoops, let me grab the little guy. Anytime you are searing meats, you want to let it rest because all the juices go back into the center and it is juicier and it is more luxurious tasting and it's much more tender when you do this. So I think Google's not paying attention tonight. So I am going to override. I know that that is going to be fabulous medium rare duck. You can just sort of stir it around in the duck fat, get both sides nice and warm. Voila. And then we're gonna let that rest for 5 minutes. Give everything a little stir. I'm going to turn off the oven because I bet, yeah, my veg is looking great. So it's just going to stay warm in there while things are being finished up over here. Okay, cremini mushrooms coming along. All right, let's plate up the dessert while we're waiting. We've got something really festive for you tonight. We have a Bailey's cheesecake with espresso crumble and mint. So simply take it out here, get your crumble, and break it up all around. Hey Google, off. Yeah, it was pretty close on the timer. But I know the duck is going to be great, even a little bit less than our time in the oven. Make sure to use all the beautiful espresso crumble. By the way, we always use decaf in the espresso anytime we're sending it your way. So don't worry about staying up late. This is looking good. 1 tablespoon of butter per person. Melt it all in there. Have it be good. And the fresh mint. You can choose to put the leaves around or rip them, whatever you like. The Baileys and mint, classic combination. We'll see if there's a particularly pretty one to put there for my Instagram photo. All right, lovely. So our Bailey's cheesecake with espresso crumble and fresh mint. Mushrooms looking good. I'm showing those guys off. Make sure this guy is stirred. Make sure this guy is stirred. Mashed potatoes are looking great. So let's see how to land this plane, shall we? So first of all, you've got to have your honey nearby in order to glaze the carrots with. And you're going to need a knife in order to slice the duck. Smashed potatoes in the middle of the plate, followed by the veggies around. Yes, my stove is telling me got all the stuff off. Oops. There we go. Want to make sure we're equalizing this before we have to divide it from 2 to 3. Mashed potatoes all around. I'll try to make something pretty out of this. That's what the spatula is good for, rounding out the corners. There we go. Okay, let's get the veg. Looking good. And we have this special honey glaze. It's not pure honey, so don't worry if you think it's a ton of honey. We sort of thin it out so it's easier to pour and that it's not so sickly sweet. By the way, we have already tossed the carrots and the turnips in olive oil, or in this case, canola oil, and salt and pepper before you put them in the oven. So if you're watching this video in advance, good for you. Got some nice brown on this guy. Divide it up. All right, now I'm going to get a slotted spoon. Mushrooms are going to go over here. You can build this up into quite a nice little pyramid because why not? And take some of the brown butter and put it on over the mushrooms because that is going to be delicious. Now, do we feel like we've rested the duck enough? I think so. Let's hope so. So you want to cut this against the grain. So just imagine which way the duck is going. So in this case, you see the curve, so we're going against the grain. So fat side down is going to be easiest to slice. This is looking like a nice medium rare. So I feel like I've done it properly. And you want to slice it as thinly as you can. I always like eating the end piece because it's always going to be a little more well done. So if you want it all legitimately the same color, cut the end piece off and give yourself a treat for doing the finishing. All right, here we go. Turn this over. And don't forget to season it again at the end. Put it right there in the center. Turn this off. Give it a little stir. One more spoon. Gravy goes on top. A duck gravy. When have you had duck gravy? And you put a little extra on top because really it is great with the mashed potatoes. It's going to make them extra rich and delicious. And then put some around on the plate because it's good with the veg. It's good with just about everything. Voila. So I have our lovely sous vide roasted duck breast done with the heirloom carrots and turnips, sauteed cremini mushrooms, smashed potatoes, and mushroom gravy. Thanks. Thanks for ordering. Thanks for letting us be a part of your special celebration at home, especially over the holidays. It's been a hard year and it's been a hard holiday period. So I hope you're able to be with your loved ones tonight and over this special time and be safe. Take care of each other. Be kind.